It's always fun to go into a competitive Pokemon battle with some of the more underrated Pokemon or under the radar Pokemon there are in the scene. So today we got a nice little setup DUDUNSPARCE along with a Gardevoir with the choice specs. So we're just going to go ahead and lead off with GARDEVOIR to be able to, parting shot and get momentum on whoever my opponent leads with. So let's get right into it. So my opponent's going to go ahead and lead off with Dragalge, the Poison Dragon, which I'm not quite sure what he's going to be able to do against Punk the Grafaiai here. But we're just, like I said, going to go ahead and go with the parting shot to be able to get out of there, lower its attack, and get momentum on his lead. So while I did this, I was not expecting the Sludge Bomb to come out from the Dragalge, since I got a Poison type in there, it's not going to do much, but as you'll see, I bring in the Arboliva, it's a more defensive Pokemon, just going to see what it's able to do. But, of course, he goes for the Sludge Bomb when I bring in the Grass type, and regardless of how bulky this Arboliva is, it just goes ahead and one-hits it. So now that our more defensive Pokemon in the squad is out, this match is looking to be a little harder than when it started, so I got a good belief that his Dragalge might actually be choice specs with how much damage that did after the parting shot, as well as his confidence to go for it against the poison type Grafaiai. So now we're going to go ahead and get DUDUNSPARCE in there, knowing I got the Drill Run with Serene Grace, giving it a good chance to get a critical hit. I'm hoping to be able to one-hit this Dragalge with it, but as you'll see here, he goes ahead and subs him out for the nice shiny pink Heracross on the other side. So now this is a perfect opportunity to be able to set up some coils with my DUDUNSPARCE once I get this Ghost Terrastalize in here. So DUDUNSPARCE with some coils along with leftovers, the grassy terrain, and it's just overall natural high HP stat. There's not many things in this planet that'll be able to take out a DUDUNSPARCE with a coil or two, so we're going to go ahead and get this little ghastly balloon looking thing on top of DUDUNSPARCE's head, give him that ghost type, and obviously the Heracross here goes for close combat on what was our normal type, so he ends up switching out here next, which tells me he was choice somehow, because I know a lot of Heracrosses do usually run Throat Chop in order to hit the ghost types that would usually switch in on its bug or fighting moves. So I click Stone Edge here, which is able to hit most of his team for pretty good damage, and also with a coil, that Stone Edge is going to have some better accuracy, and the Serene Grace being able to get a nice critical hit and all that good stuff adding in there. So we get decent damage up on this Veluza, nice 2-hit KO, but I see that berry activate, and now I know the Stone Edge will not be able to do it again. So I'm going to go ahead and click Body Slam here, trying to get the paralysis on it at least, but as you'll see here, DUDUNSPARCE is just big as hell and goes ahead and just KOs the Veluza with the Body Slam instead, so it's good stuff. We're going to see DUDUNSPARCE get his nice leftovers and grassy terrain and such, get him back up in there with his high HP stat, and I'm just pretty confident here in a DUDUNSPARCE sweep coming up soon. We end up seeing the Dragalge come right back on out, and I'm just thinking it's a nice and easy drill run here, super effective with that coil. It should be able to take out this Dragalge easy, but he of course terrestrializes of his own to get rid of that poison type. He's going to turn straight into a pure dragon type. He's going to fire off a Draco Meteor here, which just goes ahead and straight one-hits DUDUNSPARCE, giving me another indication that this Dragalge is choice specs. So with that assumption, I'm going to go ahead and send in my Fairy type, Fairy Thought Gardevoir in a second here to be able to, take absolutely no damage from that Draco Meteor, since the Fairy types are immune to the Dragon moves. And I'm very excited here to get the Gardevoir in there with its choice specs, along with a naturally very high special attack stat, and Gardevoir having a pretty good move pool to be able to have good coverage with it, things like Mystical Fire and Aura Sphere and such. So at this point, I have absolutely no reason to do anything but just click a nice choice spec stab Moonblast. He only adds one thing that can really come in and take it, being the Fortress, but after tracing that Dragalge's adaptability, Gardevoir's Moonblast is just going to be that much more powerful, along with Psychic, but we're not clicking Psychic. But anyway, so we go ahead and click Moonblast, and you'll see here he subs out the Dragalge. Obviously, no dragon wants to take a Moonblast. And then comes the Greedent, and this thing is pretty thick, but not thick enough for a Choice Specs, Adaptability, Stab, Gardevoir, Moonblast. So you'll see here in a sec, this Greedent just goes right on down. At this point, I'm pretty confident in a Gardevoir sweep coming up here. There's not much on his team that could even stop it, so you'll see him send in the Spite Ops here, and almost every time that you see a Spite Ops in a Wi-Fi battle, it's going to be Focus Sash, just focusing on getting down the sticky webs to slow down my team, and then circle throwing or spikes, taunting, you know, doing stuff like that. So of course I send off the Moonblast his way, and of course he's got the Focus Sash, able to live on 1 HP, and of course he gets up the sticky web. So from here, I'm not too worried though. Gardevoir's still got a pretty good pathway to success here. So I'm going to click Moonblast again, and honestly I'm just going to be clicking Moonblast until, you know, he has an answer or tells me otherwise. So I think he finally gets a hint that I myself am choice locked into this Moonblast here, and he sends out the Steel-type Fortress to be able to take that Moonblast. However, you know, with my adaptability and my choice specs, I'm pretty confident that I could at least 2 or 3 hit KO this thing. So I'm going to do that. You know, it's a Fortress. He's going to do the usual, set up some hazards, spikes, stealth rocks, stuff like that. So yeah, we're just going to click Moonblast until we die, and it's a 2-hit KO on this Fortress. That's good stuff. So back on out comes the Pink Beetle Heracross. I do know it's choice locked from earlier, however I'm not sure whether it's banded or scarfed. So honestly, just to play it safe, I'm going to get Gardevoir out of there, because I do know that Heracross carries Smart Strike, which, whether banded or scarfed, will be able to knock out Gardevoir in 1 hit, considering it has no physical bulk. So we're going to send in Psycho, the Hawlucha. I didn't do this thinking that Hawlucha will, you know, take a Smart Strike necessarily well, but I'm surprised here because it ends up taking barely half damage from it, and I'm going to go ahead and click Acrobatics just to, you know, get some good damage on whatever comes in here, being the Dragalge, which it does. And afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and click High Jump Kick, because I do not believe that from that Acrobatics damage that I'll be able to 2-hit KO it. So here comes this High Jump Kick, and of course that's going to knock out the Dragalge. We're going to have one more Mon left on my opponent's side here to beat, being the Pink Beetle Shiny Heracross once again, and I'm not worried one bit about stopping this thing. Again, it is either choice scarf or choice banded, but judging by how little the Smart Strike damage did to my Hawlucha earlier, I'm going to guess this thing's scarfed, and it outspeeds me, which, you know, of course is choice scarfed, but Hawlucha's thick as hell and takes that and hits it with a ×4 effect of Acrobatics, and that's going to be the end of this Wi-Fi battle. So we had a fun little UU-RU type match. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.